Hello friends, welcome back to JK Dentis. Today I'm going to explain you about surveying. So I got many requests for this topic, so I'm taking this topic today. So basically, what do you mean by survey? Let's see with an example. If you want to start up with your practice, like your dental clinic, what you do basically? You see the locality. How is the locality? How are the people living there? How many dental clinics are there? Okay, so what you are doing? You are just surveying the area. You are evaluating. Similarly, we need to evaluate the cast. Now you'll see why we need to evaluate a cast. Basically, a cast is not a smooth structure, okay? When we are making an impression in the cast, you are getting some elevations, some depressions. We don't want some depressions. That's why you need to evaluate that cast. For example, if this is the contour of the tooth. The contour is very sharp here, okay? So, if I place a straight line, this area is considered as undercut. That unfavorable area may create problem while making an impression, while making your cast partial denture, or while removal of the assembly. Your assembly will get stuck in the area of undercut. So it becomes difficult for the patient to remove or place. That's why you should know certain points. That's why we need to do the surveying. Now, what do we do with the help of a surveyor? What we do first is we analyze. Okay, we analyze the area. Secondly, we mark the undercuts. This is important for the path of insertion. We always need a single path of insertion. Why we need? If there are many paths of insertion, it becomes difficult for the placement of the assembly. That's why we need a single path of insertion. So for these things, we need a surveyor. So basically, I'll give a short idea about a surveyor, what a surveyor is. So this is a platform. The platform is flat surface. This surface must be parallel to the floor. Okay. On that platform, there is a cast holder. This cast holder is having a ball and socket joint. What do you mean by ball and socket joint? Basically, there is a ball on which there is a platform which is used for holding the cast. Why? Because we can move that platform. Because of the ball, this platform can be moved. It can be tilted. I'll explain you what is the importance of that. First, we will see the parts. This is a lock which can use to lock the cast. So for example, if I am placing my cast here this way, we can lock that position of the cast with the help of this screw. Okay, so this is a locking screw. Then this is a vertical arm. There is a horizontal arm. And this arm is called as surveying arm. So basically, in the NAE surveyor, this arm is fixed. While in Jelenko surveyor, this arm is moving. Okay, so this arm can be moved in Jelenko and it is fixed in the NAE. To this arm, there is attached a surveying arm. So what we do basically, we just place our cast here. Okay, for example, I have placed my cast here. Okay, this is my dental cast. Now what I'll do, first thing, I'll lock that position. Okay, and we will attach the tools. The different surveying tools are attached to the surveying arm. So there is a mandrel, and in this we just open the mandrel and attach the things and just lock it. Okay, so basically this tool will be that long that it is touching the surface of the cast. Okay, so basically different surveying tools are, first is analyzing rod. So what is the use of analyzing rod? The analyzing rod is used to see how is the contour of the tooth. Okay, so I am drawing certain contours. Okay, it is a straight rod that is being placed on the surface of the tooth. It can be placed on the buccal surface of the tooth. Okay, so if this is the buccal surface of the tooth, you can see this is the undercut. Okay, so it is more. Along with that, you see the contour starting from here. So you will get to see how is the survey line. Secondarily, if we'll draw here, the contour will come something here. Okay, so you get to know how is the contour, and secondarily you also get an idea about the undercut. Now to measure the undercut, there is one more thing that is called as undercut gauge. There are basically three main type of gauges. Something there is a rod and with a circular disc. This disc will help us to measure how much is the undercut. And analyzing rod, what will do? It will mark the contour. How is the contour of the tooth? Basically, if this is my tooth, the analyzing rod will determine how is the contour. Undercut gauge will measure how much is the undercut. Okay. Then there is carbon marker. After determining the things, we need to mark the height of contour. So basically the carbon marker is attached and it is moved on the surface of the tooth. Okay, after moving, what we do, we see the lines. That is basically if this is the tooth and this is the carbon marker. Okay, I'll draw here. In this figure, this is seen from the front side. Okay, and it is seen as a 3D way. Okay, so what happens when you are moving this tool? This is a bulge. Okay, this is like this. This is a bulge. When you are moving this tool, there is a line here. Basically, it is moved here in this area and you will get a line this way. So in this way, with the help of a carbon marker, you can mark the lines. How is the contour? High contour, medium contour, low contour. So you get to know how is the contour. Then what happens? There is fourth thing, that is wax knife. Basically, wax knife is a sharp tool like this. So there is sharpness here. And it is used for carving basically. Like after making a pattern, you need to carve some area, or there is some area on the cast which you need to be reduced. Like there is a bony protuberance or something. For carving that area, that is wax knife is being used. Okay, so there are mainly 4 tools of the surveyor. Now first we'll discuss the importance of surveying. So if there is a patient A comes in your clinic, what you do? You make a impression. So first is the diagnostic impression is being made. After that, what you do? You make a cast. The diagnostic cast is being surveyed. In surveying, what you are seeing? Is there any undercut? How is the contour of the tooth? Where is the survey line? So you see all these things, okay? You also mark those things. After surveying, we determine where we require an undercut, where the undercut is not required. So in the favorable areas, we create an undercut, okay? So in the patient, what we do? In the favorable areas, we do the mouth preparation. After the mouth preparation, you make the primary impression and then make the primary cast. That primary cast is again surveyed for the same things like undercut, contours as well as survey lines. And then what you do? You do the final mouth preparation in the patient's mouth, like the preparation of the rest, like receipt. For other areas, there are abutments. For the purpose of placement of the guiding planes, you need parallel tooths, okay? If the tooth is tilted like this, you need to make it parallel. If the teeth is like this, you need to make it parallel, okay? For the placement of the correct guiding plane, okay? So if this is my tooth and this is the edentulous space, this surface must be straight, this surface must be straight, okay? There should not be undercut. So you need to make 2 surfaces parallel. Basically, for example, this is my duster, okay? So if I want to place my duster, I'm marking these points, okay? This point, this point. Marking this point, what helped me? To place the duster at the same place by marking the point. Similarly, on the cast, what you do, you mark 3 points by placing the cast. Okay, at the incisal edge of the lateral incisors, on the lingual cusp of the premolars, and on the distal marginal ridge of the premolar, on the opposite side. Okay, you just mark this point. So what is the importance of marking this point? For reorientation. So I can place the cast in the same place. Why it is important to place the cast in the same place? Because you, after the primary impression or final primary cast, you need to make a master cast. So that master cast should be on the same place. Because sometimes what happens, you also need to tilt the cast. You also have to move the cast to get the undercut. So after getting that, you need to preserve the points. Okay, that's why we are marking the points on the cast. So we can place the cast at the same place, lock at the same place, and get the same tilt in the master cut. This procedure is known as tripoding. First we mark the 3 points, okay, and then we mark the additional points on the anatomical landmarks which I have told you, like the incisal edge of the lateral incisors, the lingual cusp tip of the premolars, as well as on the distal marginal ridge of the premolar. Okay, so we are adding the additional landmarks for again reorienting easily our cast. So this was about the tripoding. Okay, so I have explained you about what is the procedure. So tripoding is very important point, and it is also asked in university exam questions. So basically what we did, we tripoded and then we got the master cast. On that master cast, we will further process with the further designings and wax pattern. So this was in short about the surveying, how it is and how we have to manage surveying in our patients. So in this video, I have explained you about what is surveying, what is the importance of surveying on dental cast, how we can survey the dental cast. I know it is a very difficult topic to understand as it is all 3-dimensional. In the future videos, I will try to bring a surveyor to explain you in detail how the marking is done. But in this video, I have just tried to give you a brief idea what is the tripoding, how is the part of the surveyor, how we do the surveying. Okay, so it is a basic idea is being clear, then we can further see the surveyor and get an idea about the surveying. So if you still have any queries, feel free to ask me. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and like and comment.